Yo, what's going on, guys? Mush back at it with another video, here to take you guys through a bunch of Steam news and updates. Some pretty major stuff. First of all, on the good news side of things, Amnesia the Bunker has gotten a major free update, and this is a game that's been very well received from Frictional. We'll talk all about that. In lesser news, new pricing will be needed on Steam for certain regions by November the 20th. We'll talk that. City Skylines 2 is, of course, out, and we have a little bit of a guide on the performance post-release plan, so we'll go over that. But first of all, Amnesia the Bunker gets a big free Halloween update, the biggest update yet. The Halloween update for Amnesia the Bunker is here, the very special update. Brings a bunch of new features to Amnesia the Bunker, really switching up the gameplay, adding new horrors and heaps of replay value. The new update comes with two completely new game modes. First of all, you have a new difficulty setting in the Shell Shock mode for the most hardcore experience, a true test of guts. And then, more interestingly, you have custom mode. Customize your experience through Amnesia the Bunker with 30 plus settings and parameters. Some of the new features available in the new modes are new stalker behaviors that increases unpredictability, a sub-level fuse system, hardcore version of the health system, randomized corpses and dog tags, randomized locker locations, revolver located in one of the lockers and not available from the start, new training grounds level for you to practice your skills, saving your progress costs fuel, and much more. Most of these are new game plus features that are only accessible by completing the game on any difficulty once. This is, of course, a game done by Frictional Games, who have done the other Amnesia titles, and they did a game that I always talk up in Soma. Soma is my favorite game from Frictional, but I still gotta play through the entirety of Amnesia the Bunker. I know it's available on Xbox Game Pass, but certainly I gotta go and sit down and play through this one. It's a little, like, I'm not crazy about horror games. Like, I love Resident Evil, of course, but Resident Evil, there's scale of horror, and Resident Evil is a little bit lower on the scale of horror titles, but yeah, definitely want to check out Amnesia the Bunker at some point. $24.99 on Steam, so it had a great price point already, even if you don't play it through Game Pass, and then on top of that, you're getting a free update like this. That is great to see. Bunker also has 3,967 Steam reviews, and 92% of those reviews have been positive, so a really solid reception, all things considered on this. Fairly good reviews from critics as well. Moving on from that, here's some lesser news. New pricing needed for Argentina and Turkey on Steam by November the 20th. As noted on the Steam Community Steamworks section, starting on November 20th, Steam will change the currency used for sales in Argentina and Turkey to USD. We are implementing this with two new pricing regions, LATAM, Latin America USD, which includes Argentina, and MENA USD, which includes Turkey. See below for the list of all countries and territories included in these new pricing regions. 25 countries and territories in Latin America and Middle East and North Africa will be receiving regionalized USD pricing for the first time. It's probably going to be an interesting thing to monitor as far as game prices in those regions go. Please log into Steamworks to add your USD pricing for your games in the new Latin America USD and Middle East and North Africa USD pricing section for the price management tool before November 20th. They note, why now? Exchange rate volatility in Argentina and Turkey in recent years has made it hard for game developers to choose appropriate prices for their games and keep them current. We have heard this loud and clear, and in our developer meetups and roundtable charts, in addition, we have had a hard time keeping Steam payment methods up and running in these territories due to the constant foreign exchange fluctuations, fees, taxes, and logistical issues. Pricing games in USD for customers in Argentina and Turkey will help us provide greater stability and consistency for players and partners, while also enabling us to continue to offer a variety of payment methods to Steam users in those countries and territories. And they go over how to alter your prices. That's more so applicable to the developers. But if you are in those regions, something very notable to monitor, and we'll see how this is going to impact Steam game prices. Obviously, recently we talked about Activision titles going up in price. Halo MCC was another title that went up in price, and now across the board, come November 20th, you might see an alteration of a lot of prices on games as far as those regions are concerned. So hopefully it won't be too big of an issue when all is said and done, but certainly something to monitor going forward. Alright, moving on from that, we have had the release of City Skylines 2 on Steam. The game is doing very well. Like, even though the performance can be definitely, not great based on what I'm seeing, and we've already seen benchmarks and whatnot, the game is certainly doing incredibly well in terms of a concurrent player count. They peaked at over 100,000, and given that this game is on Xbox Game Pass, you're already eating away at potential sales, so still cracking 100K is very impressive. Currently, the game is sitting at 10,110 Steam user reviews. 49% of those reviews are positive. Obviously, a big aspect of the negative reviews is from a performance standpoint, and yes, you could say, oh, they told you beforehand that it wasn't going to perform well. Well, that doesn't completely alleviate the issue of it performing poorly, and you should still get a negative review if that is the case. Now, they have been upfront, and they also talked about post-release plans and goals. So, obviously, this is a Paradox title. Paradox titles in the past have been very much, let's update them for a long time going forward. So, City Skylines 2, what it is today, it is very much going to be different in a year from now, 18 months from now, 24 months from now. It is going to be totally different, and it might be a much more compelling experience. It might be at a far cheaper price. It might pull a complete No Man's Sky. And I fully expect that to be the case. So again, they have this post on the Steam section. City Skylines 2 is built for the future with modern hardware in mind, allowing us to add more depth and detail to the game than its predecessor had. Earlier this month, we shared a note on performance, as we had not reached the benchmark target we had set for the game. Following this, we have seen some concerns about performance and what it means for the game as a whole. We'd like to give you some context to the issue the game is currently facing, what we're doing to address them, and what you can do if you are among the players experiencing performance issues. Firstly, we want to assure you that these issues are not deeply rooted in the game's foundation, so we fully expect to be able to improve the game's performance going forward. That's always good. The issue we are currently facing are tied to the rendering of the game and decreasing the quality of visual effects such as depth of field, global illumination, and volumetrics will get you a fair performance without affecting simulation at the cost of some eye candy. If you experience low FPS, they recommend the following: reduce screen resolution to 1080p, disable depth of field and volumetrics, reduce global illumination, and they have a full guide for more tips. They also know following the release we intend to push a series of small patches and likely a big one as we significantly improve different areas of performance. We have identified some issues tied to certain hardware setups that yield unexpected results, and following those discoveries, we're working on improvements to remove stutters generally caused by some synchronization condition in the simulation. They can vary greatly from one CPU to another, as well as how your city is built. Optimize and balance GPU performance by reducing the number of vertices processed per frame and optimizing and balancing the effects that affect it, mainly depth of field, global illumination, and volumetrics, which you can turn off or reduce in the settings for the time being to get a decent FPS. Pushing any CPU optimizations that are not already done that we come across in the process. It's worth noting that balancing GPU performance does not mean reducing the quality overall, but for example, taking fewer samples with smarter distribution to achieve identical or very similar results. We're also looking at expanding options for upscaling solutions. Right now, the game includes AMD FSR 1, which that's not great, which does not look that good when the scale ratio is 50%. You can enable it with dynamic resolution scaling, but it is supported by Unity out of the box. Both FSR 2 and DLSS 2 require the use of temporal anti-aliasing, which is not possible at the moment due to some objects being incompatible with that technique. We are currently working towards making this possible, which will not only help to boost performance, but also provide a better quality anti-aliasing solution than the one we currently use, which is SMAA by default. Finally, with the upcoming patches, the situation will largely improve with default settings. It is worth mentioning that for a game like this, the performance target is to run at a steady 30 FPS minimum. There is really no benefit in a city builder to aim for higher FPS, unlike a multiplayer shooter. I don't know about that one. As a growing city will inevitably become CPU bound, what matters more with this type of game is to avoid stutters and have a responsive UI. I agree with that, 100% avoid stutters and have a responsive UI, but, you know, having a high frame rate in any game, yes, it's more beneficial towards a multiplayer shooter, absolutely, no questions about that. But you could want 60 FPS in a game like this still. For that reason, our simulation, is also built around the expected update rate given 30 FPS. However, it does not hurt to get 60 FPS, and it can contribute to better visuals in relation to temporal effects. So while our target is 30, we don't intend to limit or stop the optimization work just because we reach it on the recommended hardware. We just don't believe there would be a long-term benefit in setting the target to 60 FPS, especially because we face rendering challenges both from up close and far distances. So there you go with that. They also have one final note, a note on release timing. While some setups on PC have challenges, we concluded the performance is not a deal breaker for all of the players. For us, the number one priority is for the players to have fun with the game, and we had seen enough feedback from players enjoying the game that it would be more unfair to postpone. We know we will keep working on the game and our best to fix issues as fast as possible. So, generally, like a nice little breakdown of all of the issues, and hey, I give them, like, a grain of credit given that they were upfront about the performance issues ahead of release. It is $50, which is pricey. would absolutely say, wait until the game sees either a discount and then it's going to get patched up, fixed up, or play through Game Pass for the time being, and you can enjoy it on there. But yeah, City Skylines 2 still having a lot of success, all things considered. North of 100,000 players. Peaking at that's nothing to scoff at whatsoever, and given it is a Paradox title, it'll probably get much better in the coming months. But that'll be doing it for me. Again, Amnesia the Bunker gets a major free update with the Halloween update. Some pricing changes coming to Steam. Be on the lookout for that in those various regions, and City Skylines 2 gets its future detail. That's going to do it for me. Sound off with all of your thoughts in the comments section down below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey, what's going on, guys? Mush here again. Hope you enjoyed the video. As you guys might know, YouTube's notification system is sometimes a little bit wonky, even if you're subscribed to the channel. Maybe you're not abundantly aware that I uploaded a video. To remedy that situation, make sure you hit the bell notification button. This way, whenever I upload a new video, and I try to upload as consistently as possible, you will be notified directly of the upload, and you can watch it as soon as it goes live. I would really appreciate if you guys hit that button so you can stay up to date with all of the content I'm posting. But as always, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.